let's talk a little bit about, well, let's talk about counseling and a counseling role, transition a little bit from mentoring. The aim of the Arthur W. Page Center and the Arthur Page Society is to help individuals become counselors to leadership. So how can individuals best prepare themselves for this role, best prepare themselves to be counselors, to leaders in public relations?
Well, I think you have to put yourself in the person you're going to counsel's feet, or shoes, actually, and think what keeps him or her awake at night, what are the issues, what's the past, what's the history, what are the challenges, on the one hand. On the other hand, you have to be courageous. You can't be someone, if you're going to speak to the CEO, that's going to tell him what he wants to hear. And we've seen this in the political world, of people surrounding themselves with advisors that praise that person and tell him he's right, and then people with courage and integrity that will say things as they see them.
So how can individuals prepare themselves to be counselors? What are some of the things that they can do to be prepared to be a good counselor to leadership?
You mean in reading, or in what kind of
preparation as far as that, education, maybe even going back to some mentoring?
Maybe some psychology can help,
Mm-hmm.
studying psychology, because that helps in the interaction and the understanding of the other. I think that could be helpful. I think you need a dose of humility, because you can be wrong. You can be both forceful and humble at the same time. When you forceful when you know for sure, but we rarely know for sure. And you have to make sure that you always consider the person you're counseling's best interest at all times, and not yours.
What about professional accreditation? Is professional accreditation necessary to guarantee ethical standards within the field of public relations? And if so, what should the standards be for accreditation that would lead to more ethical decision making, in your opinion?
I think accreditation is very important. I'm unfortunately not a member of APR, but I should be, and maybe I will. But I think highly of it, because it's more than just a recognition of what you know, but it's also, there's an element of education about ethics in most of those programs. I'm sure it's the same with Arthur Page Society. So I highly recommend it. Mm-hmm. I think it's very important.
And
it won't guarantee anything, but it's important. Nothing is guaranteed.
Right. What about continued education for seasoned public relations professionals? Do you think that's something that can lead to more ethical understanding? And do you also think that it's necessary? Is this something that, do you think seasoned professionals should be back in the classroom and learning about this, or is this something they can learn on the job?
I have a mixed feeling about that. Theoretically, I would think it's a good idea, but when you look at executives that are involved hours and hours a day with issues, unless it's something totally new, I don't see them taking the time or thinking it's necessary to go and get some more, credit points like lawyers do. I think it would be interesting if something totally unknown to them or their field or their expertise was presented, and then it might be worth it. But it's hard to, with the busy schedules and the demands of clients, to put aside some time for those credits. I know the legal profession requires it, but it's a little more complex because new things come up all the time in the legal world. It's not quite true for PR.
I just have one last question for you then. Briefly put, the Arthur W. Page Center at Penn State is committed to fostering integrity in public relations. Could you suggest a few ways that a program like this can be even more effective in educating and
a program like what we had,
Page Center, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes. What can this center do to foster integrity beyond our own center, and prepare students, but also reach out to the practice to encourage
I think
encourage ethics.
maybe PR, some more PR for the Arthur Page Society, that it's an organization of resource, of credibility, that that agencies and individuals in agencies and solo practitioner can go back to as a reference, or for help, for counseling.
So you're saying offer counseling then
Yeah.
to the profession.
Absolutely.